Okay, so I was looking online and came across this photo of this ZR2 Desert Boss with the hash marks. I've always loved the hash marks on very aggressive, muscly looking cars. So I took more, a further look. And here it is from the angle. It looks so sick. And then you have the side view. So what I did is I took this picture and I dropped it into Adobe Illustrator, as you can see. And I went ahead and I matched the angle at which the hash marks are and also the relative widths in relation to each other. Now you can see here on the Desert Boss one, in this portion, it looks like it is connected at some point here. So I may or may not do that. I'm going to decide that later. But with what I got from this one, I lined it up. And here's a little preview of what it looks like on my truck. Now on my truck, obviously, there's a body line here and this curves. So this isn't going to look perfectly straight. This is going to come to up to here, and it's probably going to lose a little bit of angle coming up the body line there. So my only concern, and I have a plan already of how I'm going to try to go about this, we'll see if it works, is I'm not worried about the length of the hash marks because I am going to cut at the fender flares. So this can extend past. What I want to get good is the body line. I want it to line up with the body line really good. So as long as I have that, this can hang down, and I'm going to stick a piece of backing paper behind the fender, the flare, and then the vinyl will go over both the flare and the backing paper, and I can just get an X-Acto and just slit right here really, really lightly, and it'll cut along the fender flare perfectly. So let's go outside and let's check out how I think we're going to be able to get this body line correctly. So in order for me to get this line really clean on the software, I need a very clear established line. So I've got a piece of string that I've dyed to a dark color. I'm gonna get tape to get tension on it and just have it as straight as I can in the middle of this bend, so that when I go back in the software, I get this angle correctly. And then I'm not too worried about length coming down, because what I'm gonna do is stuff backing paper here, let the vinyl overflow, and just get an X-Acto blade and basically cut it right at the fender line. So my biggest worry is about getting this top line completely straight. So let me tape it now, get some tension, and then we'll see how the tracing comes out on the software. All right, so on the screen, you already see that I have something completed. I just wanted to go ahead and go through it before I do an explanation, but I'm gonna totally show how I got to this point. So I'm gonna open a new window. We are going to get our image that we took with the string. I just like to center it on the artboard. Now here's one thing, right? I need to size this image to be actual size, so that when we make the decal is going to be cut to actual size. So I took a measurement of this indentation, and it should be 6 3/4. Right now this is 3.3365, and I use a website called Calculator Soup. So let me just reset this here. Okay, let's just delete these values and start over. So it's going to tell me what percentage increase I need to add to the image. So we're going to paste what we just got here. And I know that I need to get to 6 3/4. And I'll calculate. And right here it's telling me 102.308% is what I need to increase. So I'll zoom out. I'm going to delete this box. I'll select my image. So we have 10.08 inches, and I need to add an increase of 102.308%. Click enter, and now that's sized up. I'm just going to go ahead and resize my artboard. Now to double check, let me show you. Now I'm going to draw a box roughly from edge to edge here, and we have up here 6.72. It's pretty close, 6.75. All right. At this point, you can see we have the string that we drew. So I'm going to go ahead and start tracing. Actually, I'm going to lock this layer. We're going to open a new layer for the tracing. And I'm gonna zoom in as close as I can and try to get in the center. And Adobe Illustrator has a curve tool that will curve for me, and it'll follow the curve of this body line. So I'm just gonna keep coming around and just get in the center of that string. Just keep doing it. Now there's a point here where the string starts to get a little thin. We're just gonna follow it as best as we can. There, here, and we're getting to the end. And we're here. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to continue this line. We're gonna come down to the fender. I know I said we're gonna extend past the fender, but I just want a more accurate preview of what I'm gonna have. Let me take the color off of this. All right, and then we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna come here, and we're gonna start following the fender line. Come here like this. This is just for the preview. And actually I need to, let me add a guide here so I know when to stop. So let's go ahead and continue. This is going to continue right there. And then I'll just connect this to the top. And now we have basically a box where those hash marks are going to sit in. So now I'll come here. I'll grab my original preview copy. We'll paste this here. I'm going to, this is all masking. So I come here and I release the mask. This is the original rough preview. I'm going to delete that. And then we're going to take this, and this needs to be the most back layer. I'm not going to get it too technical in how to use Adobe, but essentially I'm going to mask these two, and it's going to mask it into my box. Now, if you notice in the picture, let's come here. If you notice in the picture, this one is just about the size of the indentation. So we're gonna resize this relatively to match that. So I'll take this, I'll line this up with this edge, and then we're gonna go ahead and resize this so that it's just about the size of the indentation. And now that's looking about right. So now to get the part that connects here, what I can do is I'm going to release this mask. I'm going to get this box, and I am going to offset the path. And this is what I chose to go with before. This is automatic, but I can vary it. But we'll go with 0.625, right? I duplicate these really quick. Now I'm going to grab my hash marks, my outer, my inner, and I have a shape builder tool where I can just add this little piece right here. Boom. Now I'll come out here, I'll delete my copy, and now I only have my outer, right? So I'm gonna ungroup this and now group all these three just to get an idea. I'll group these, send it to the back, mask it. There it is. And that's what we're looking at. So now essentially what I'm gonna do is I will make a copy of this on my other final one, but since I like what the preview looks like, I'll go ahead and release the clipping mask, right? And then we're going to combine these three shapes. Now those are all combined. Now I'm going to select this shape, and we're only going to delete the top part. And this is going to give me my, basically, you know, I don't have to come this low. See, I can probably have it extended up to here of the fender. And then I can just subtract from that. And this will basically be my cut file. This is going to be about 6.8 inches high, width 17 inches. But remember, I'm going to install this. And then I'm going to, with my blade, trim on the fender cleanly. But what I'm worried about is the top body line. So this is kind of what I'm going to be going for. And I just kind of want to double check, how thick is this piece about? This piece is about 0.6, a little about a half an inch. Let me see what that looks like. I may even make that thicker. I think I'm going to go ahead and make that an inch, or even an inch and a quarter on my final file. But this is pretty much the idea. So we'll come back when we're cutting. So we're going to give it a shot. We're going to start with the passenger side to see how it comes out. If it comes out bad, I can always remove it and we'll go back to the drawing board. But if it's good, I have enough to do the driver's side and that's it. So let's go ahead and lift our desk. We're gonna get this level and then we're gonna start cutting. This is gonna be a super quick cut. There's not anything intricate in here. It's all just one cut. So let's go ahead and do it. There's a skinny hash mark coming out there. Here comes the fatter one. And we're just about done. So that's it, you can see it there. I did go with I went to the truck and I double checked. I am gonna do the 1¼ inch space here. I think it's gonna look good. But let's get this thing on transfer and then take it outside. So I put back on the string. Does it line up crazy perfect? No, but I think it's relatively, once I take everything off, it's gonna look great. I think this is gonna come out awesome. So I've already got the top stuck on. Now I just need to peel back the backing and work my way down. So we've got as much stuck down to the truck, and now this part here is just backing paper, so it's not stuck to the truck here. And I've already made an indentation, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut along here. And then when I lift up, I'll keep sticking down and then we'll tuck it in as close as we can. But so far, this is what we're working with. Here we go. One side is done, and I think it came out pretty damn good, following that body line very nicely. Here's how the whole truck is looking together. Pretty normal. I always get a couple little bubbles, but these always work themselves out within a day or two. I can't tell you how many bubbles I had on my mountains, and they all went away on their own. So yeah, the body line, is it 100% perfect? No, because I had to trace on software, but you have to be 1 inch on it. I mean, from this distance, that looks like it matches up pretty perfect. And again, I love this side view here. Get this wide angle. That's what we're looking at. So let's go ahead and get this other side done. All right, so just got done. It's another little unique added touch to my truck. Just saw it online, liked it. You kind of saw my workflow, my process, and how I create things. But let me show you what the truck looks like. So I got to start from a far view because you got to see everything together, how it wraps up nicely. This is how the truck's looking. So let's walk up and take a look. Here's a lower angle. Ah, man, it's looking so good. And here's that other side we already showed. Take a look from the back angle too. Let's come around this way. That's how it's looking. So I was able to get both sides pretty perfect. You see the indentation where that thick stripe is, how I said I wanted it. We got it there on both sides. So I'm gonna have fun with this for a while, but I think it's probably gonna live on the truck permanently if I really like it. It's definitely unique. So man, there's so many things I want to do. They're just expensive, and I'm trying to pace myself. I'm not trying to blow a ton of money all at once, but there's a couple other things I really want to do with this truck. But man, if you guys have any ideas of things you want to see, or if you have any questions about this truck, please let me know. I absolutely love this truck, and I'm having fun making it my own. So until the next video, see ya.